What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. Intellivision has officially launched Amico Home, a mobile app that allows you to, well, theoretically, play Intellivision Amico games via cell phones, but it doesn't actually function or do anything. What exactly was the point of this? Smash JT. Hit the subscribe, give me a like, and check out smashjt.com for my full article talking about Amico Home and breaking down the latest beta release. And they use that beta word as a get out of jail free because honestly, this is completely broken. I don't really have any Android devices at the house here to double check all this, but good friend of the channel, Retro Bro, put it through its paces and we had a good long talk about it, and I decided to make this video to send awareness out to the entire community that Intellivision Amico Home is a broken mess. The mobile app Amico Home recently launched on the Google Play Store, and it stands as a stark example of a misguided venture in the realm of user experience. Originally, it was promised as a Halloween early access launch. The app's debut was delayed nearly a month, setting the stage for the usual inevitable disappointment out of Intellivision. This is something that people who have been following the company like myself for a long time, ever since Tommy Tallarico came forward in 2017, was it? At the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, announcing the Intellivision Amico, that this was going to be a special thing for retro gamers, and it turned out to be not only none of that, but nothing at all. Developed by Intellivision, the Amico Home app falls far short of even modest expectations. And while I've made a few videos talking about what Amico Home was supposed to mean to the end user, and I couldn't find a reason in my brain why this thing even exists in the first place, let's talk about what Intellivision Amico Home was supposed to be according to Intellivision. Intended as a stopgap for those who pre-ordered the ill-fated Intellivision Amico console, Amico Home was supposed to be a digital consolation born from a series of delays and failed promises. Or another way to say that is lies, but whatever. The concept, a mobile extension of the console experience, was meant to pacify the pre-orders of the console, encouraging people to hold on to their pre-orders just a little bit longer in hopes that the Intellivision Amico would magically just appear in front of them. Because that's how this console works, apparently. Magic. There's nothing of actual tangible evidence of work going on behind the scenes to make this console come to life. And in classic Intellivision style, they approach this with a beta launch, where it comes out and they say, "Advisory, Amico Home is in beta test. Please report issues to the support email. Some games shown in screenshots are not yet available, but coming soon." Alright, well, according to the Retro Bro, he was unable to get any of these games to function, click through, or purchase for any of them when he was downloading it on his Nvidia Shield and using his phone as a controller and another phone at his house to record the information, because apparently all this has to do is go around with Android devices using a phone. It's just ridiculously overcomplicated to the point of being comical. Amico Home is an attempt to replicate the Intellivision Amico console-like experience through a mobile application. The app requires users to assemble a complex ecosystem comprising of a main application, individual game apps, a controller app, and a shared Wi-Fi network, all while having multiple phones in the same area together functioning as one. Do you guys remember the whole SAFE thing? You know, the SAFE, simple, A, affordable, F, family, E, what was E? Entertainment? Something like that. Safe, affordable, family, fun. That was their kind of mantra that Tommy was running with. None of those things have proven to be true. In fact, everything has been the exact opposite to this point from what they initially told us. And with this being the S in safe, it's anything but simple. The setup is not only unbelievably convoluted, but it also lacks seamless functionality of mainstream gaming consoles like the Nintendo Switch, or literally anything else. I just recently got the PlayStation Portal the other day, and it, by the way, I've made a couple videos on that. I love the PlayStation Portal. I know there's a lot of hate for it out there, but for me and my uses, it's perfectly fine. And setup was a breeze. I took it out of the box, turned it on, connected my PlayStation account on the PlayStation Network with the phone app, and boom! It synced with my PlayStation 5 and I was able to use it. Total time of getting it set up was like a minute. If that. And that's to get an entirely new console attached to the PlayStation 5 to make it function seamlessly. This is anything but that. And the main reason why I wanted to make this video, not just to appease the 10 or 12 people that reached out to me asking me to cover this, but was to talk about one angle in particular. Why? Like, why did they come out with this now? Why is it so rushed, barely functioning? You can't even download and play the games, but yet it's available publicly. There's been no public statement from Intellivision, no email communications, no announcements anywhere on Twitter or social media, nothing. Like, they haven't said anything about this. And they launch a beta release launch of this program that I'm sure a lot of diehards, if there are any left, were waiting on, and they didn't even tell people about it. They have to find out about it through word of mouth. Which brings me to the ultimate question of all of this. Why? Why is it rushed? And the only thing I can think of is because they're trying to cover their ass legally so that they don't get sued with all the money they raised and haven't produced diddly squat. This is something they can point to if someone tries to sue them and say, hey, I invested money in this company and you didn't produce anything. I need to find out where all that money went. This is a way for them to tell the courts, hey, we tried the pandemic, all these other random things that Tommy said, because Tommy's a super trustworthy person. We're going to take his word for it. Everything else that's happened here. And we finally managed to, after all that work, get this application out the door. And we're still working on things. We still have people here working on it. And it's all good behind the scenes here. Please don't sue us. We haven't done anything wrong. That's all I can think of as to why this even exists in the first place. And shout out to the Retro Bro who did a video talking about his experience getting Amico Home set up at his house and how convoluted it really was. He shared the video highlighting a limited functionality of the app, and people are amused to see the app, despite being released publicly, was unable to even purchase a game. The app itself is merely a portal to access purchased games, and to be quite honest, seems like it's somewhat in an insecure state. I would not trust my credit card on this site or on this application. Whatever Intellivision's doing in the back alleyways that they've set it up, it's no wonder they avoided Apple's App Store. Going through the Android App Store and having a very limited functionality app that doesn't even accomplish the most basic of needs of what it sets out to do in the first place. I can't believe this. Like, genuinely, I'm not even being animated in this video because I'm just at the point of like beyond frustration, beyond depression, beyond sadness with this. Like, everything that was promised within Intellivision from the outset has failed to come true. My initial reason why I fell in love with this thing was, one, the price. $150, totally affordable. The games, $2 to $3, totally affordable. The release schedule, the family friendliness, the controllers that come with it, all these things, the lights on it. I'm like, my kids would love this thing. For the price of it, it's totally worth it and justified. And one by one, slowly, and then it started to pick up speed, every point that was promised turned out to be a lie. And now we're left with this shell of an Amico of what it was supposed to be. And it's embarrassing. Frankly, the people making this should be embarrassed. Putting this out legitimately, if they're really trying, it's pathetic. It's a pathetic attempt to try to compete in the ultra-competitive video game landscape that we find ourselves in today. This is an embarrassment, especially when you consider how much money they raised. Upwards of, what was it, $17 million? And they, 5 years later, 6 years later, put out a barely functioning app that doesn't even let you download games as a beta launch, and don't even tell the people that invested in it or pre-ordered it that this thing even exists on the Android-only App Store. If that doesn't scream shady, I don't know what does. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing. Smash J-T. Smash J-T.
Master Taste.